Hello, come in. This is a story about a girl, a city, and the words she never sent. Seoul, 1999. The city pulsed with light neon signs flickering across rooftops. Subway lines humming under polished streets, and voices everywhere, flowing fast like the Han River. But for 17-year-old Jiwoo, it all felt like noise she couldn't quite translate. She was the kind of girl people rarely noticed twice. Not because she wasn't beautiful, she was in that soft, quiet way, but because she made herself small. In school, Jiwoo was known as the quiet one who always submitted perfect essays and never raised her hand. At home, she was the middle child sandwiched between a golden older brother and a mischievous little sister. In the shadows, Jiwoo found comfort. But Jiwoo had a secret world. Every night, after dinner, dishes clinked and the television blared variety shows her parents have. Jiwoo would sneak up to the roof of her family's apartment building. Under the concrete sky of Seoul, she'd write letters to her future self in a red notebook she bought from a street vendor in. She always started the same way. Dear future me, are you still hiding in the corners? These weren't diary entries. They were hopes in disguise. Some days, Jiwoo imagined herself studying in Europe, wearing long coats and eating pastries. Other days, she imagined being brave enough to talk to the boy who sat 2 rows ahead of her and once lent her a pencil without asking for it back. Her letters were funny, sometimes sarcastic, often poetic. She wrote about the ajama downstairs who argued with her dog, about the old man who sold roasted chestnuts near the subway and always gave her an extra one for free. But slowly, her letters grew deeper. Dear future me, do you remember that day when Mom forgot your birthday again? I told her it was okay. But it wasn't. I went to the school bathroom and cried into my sleeve. You learn that love sometimes skips you by accident. Jiwoo's parents weren't cruel, just exhausted. Her father worked in construction management, often coming home late and angry. Her mother cleaned offices in Gangnam and barely had time to rest. And Jiwoo, she became her own best friend. But then came the summer that changed everything. That year, Jiwoo's school introduced a mentorship program pairing seniors with juniors for personal projects. When her teacher assigned her to the top student in the senior class and the daughter of a diplomat, Jiwoo almost fainted. Minseo was confident, articulate, popular, the kind of girl who walked into a room and the air shifted. At first, Jiwoo hated it. Their meetings were awkward. Jiwoo never knew what to say, and Minseo always seemed distracted. But slowly, something shifted. Minseo began walking her to the bus stop after school. She complimented Jiwoo's writing. One day, she even asked, "Why do you always seem like you're somewhere else?" Jiwoo laughed and said, "Because I am." She didn't mean to tell her about the letters. But once she started, she couldn't stop. Instead of mocking her, Minseo listened, wide-eyed. "You should turn them into stories," she said. "They're beautiful." That night, Jiwoo didn't write a letter. She stayed up imagining herself as a writer, her name on a book spine, her words translated into other languages. With Minseo's encouragement, Jiwoo submitted one of her letters, heavily edited, to a youth writing competition. It was a story about a girl writing to her future self from the rooftops of Seoul. A story about wanting to be seen. Weeks passed. One evening, her teacher called her name in class. Jiwoo thought she was in trouble. But instead, "Congratulations, Jiwoo. You won first place." Her classmates turned to look at her. Some clapped, some just blinked. Jiwoo froze. Her palms were sweating. She didn't say anything, just bowed slightly, eyes glued to her desk. That night, she wrote, "Dear future me, you were seen today. For real." But life wasn't a drama with perfect arcs. After the contest, Jiwoo was invited to speak at a small event. Just a 5-minute reading. Min Seo told her she'd go with her. But on the day of the event, Min Seo never showed up. Jiwoo stood in the backstage area, trembling. She saw the mic, the empty chairs, the judges. She clutched her red notebook, knuckles white. She wanted to run. But she didn't. Jiwoo stepped up, voice quivering, and read her letter. Her knees almost gave out, but she kept going. The room was silent when she finished. Then came applause. A woman with silver glasses told her she had something rare, emotional clarity, she called it. On the bus ride home, Jiwoo cried, not because of fear or joy, but because, for the first time, she realized she could live a life that felt true. The next day, Min Seo found her and apologized. Her father had taken her on an emergency diplomatic trip. She showed Jiwoo photos from Paris. You were amazing, Min Seo said. Jiwoo nodded but didn't say much. She never fully trusted Min Seo again, but she forgave her. Years passed, Jiwoo grew up. She studied literature. She traveled. She even lived in Europe for a year just like she'd imagined. She still wrote letters. But now, sometimes, she mailed them. To friends. To herself. She even published a small collection called Letters from Seoul. In the final page, she wrote, Dear past me, you didn't disappear. You just needed time to arrive. If this story spoke to you, like, comment, and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration. Subscribe for more coming-of-age stories because small dreams can lead to wild lives.